Guys, so we're down at Barrel Bros, which needs no introduction to anybody in Australia who's getting a set of wheels restored. We've got Mark here with us. We've got our set of wheels we picked up from Benny's Custom Works just last week for our Z31 project. Now Mark, you've got them here on this machine. What are we looking for here? What are you doing?
Buckles.
Buckles.
We're just making sure they're straight, basically. And that's the first thing we do. Any set of wheels that comes in here, doesn't matter what it's for, the first thing it does is go on here and we check them that they're straight. Because no wheels leave Barrel Brothers bent.
And presumably there'd be circumstances where the barrel itself is unsalvageable and you would have to rebarrel.
Generally, it's if you've got Japanese-made wheels or European-made, they're usually pretty good, especially the three-piece stuff. The quality of the alloy will be good enough, and even if they're really like egg-shaped and bent, as long as they're not cracked, they're generally salvageable. Unless you've tacoed it over onto the centre, you know.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Then it's like fling.
I'm sure plenty of people have bought wheels for top dollar, expected them to be perfect, and then found out later on that they're no good. Thankfully, Benny hooked us up on these, so.
Yeah. Ben, because Ben gets a lot of wheels and he really searches for stuff and he finds really good sort of obscure stuff as well. So yeah, I like the stuff that Ben brings in.
So when you get a set of wheels in, besides looking for the buckles, what else do you kind of assess from initial outlook as to the condition and what work you have to do to a wheel to get it good?
Oh right, so with something like this in a full three-piece, the seal doesn't matter, little buckles like that doesn't matter. You're mainly looking at what sort of quality the lips are, how the centre is. Make sure the centre's not bent. So when you spin your wheel, you want that going in a straight line. Right, if that's going like that, in the bin.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be fixed, but it's problematic, and you know, because they're a cast centre, they're hard to straighten.
It'd be reasonably labour intensive, I imagine, to fix that.
Well, these ones they've got a fair bit of corrosion that's got in under the paint, and they're black.
Yeah. I think someone's rattle canned those. It looks terrible.
It's the worst look. Rattle can black is just terrible. Don't do it. Well, the other thing about it is, you know, if you're painting your wheels black, especially something like this, you know, that, I know it doesn't look like it at the moment, but that's a really good design.
Yeah, well, in my mind, you paint something you don't want to see black.
Exactly.
If it's a good-looking wheel, why would you paint it black?
The minute you put it on the car, it's got a shadow behind it, you can't see it.
That's it. So hopefully we can pick out something a little more appropriate for this.
Brake dust colour. Right there. You can. That's where you're trying. That's where you're looking, here and here. Make sure that they're not going up and down, which it is on this one. And that is actually, if you're watching really closely, that is actually bent into about here. But that's okay. That'll straighten up. Oh, the other thing you're looking for is to make sure that that is running true. If that's going in and out, that means the centre's bent. That's not good. Yeah, nice and straight. Yeah, this is where somebody's tried to seal it. The biggest drama with the bigger stuff is your low profile tyre.
Yep.
So there's a lot of leverage between, if you imagine the centre of the wheel and right out here.
Fulcrum to like the
exactly. So then you run heaps of camber in it, you know, low profile tyre.
And you've got a line all over.
And then you put it on a Commodore.
You possibly could machine it, but it'd have to be a lot of setup. You'd have to machine the flat spot on the back, like bore it through the landing.
But what about our small shank ones?
Yeah, but I think you still have to do the same thing.
So we just maybe put a little nick just in there for it to sit in.
Yeah, just notch it.
Yeah.
A little notch for it to clearance it so it sits flat.
Away you go. That's a lot better than that one.
Keep your Z32 brakes.
So what the problem is, that is collecting on the caliper on the way around, just the shape of it. So what we're going to do is throw in one of these valves, which drops that curve down nicely, and we'll clear the brakes. But we've got to put a little notch just in there. It's just resting on the edge of the rim. So we'll put a little notch in there for that to sit in, and then away you go. And you can still pump it up and everything. Good to go.
they've got a fair bit of pitting on them. I'll go see what the boss has to say about this.
Alright, so the young fella's been sanding. We've got a bit of pitting. It obviously doesn't look too great, so we'll probably have a chat to Mark and see what he reckons. I reckon spin it, get another one, but we'll see what the boss says.
Get them looking as good as possible, and yeah, make them nice and shiny. It sounds to look good. Yeah, go to it, man. Make them look shiny.
So the boys have painted these wheels for Sparesbox. Got the centers painted. I'm just going to pull the masking off, chuck them in the lips and barrels, put the bolts in, seal it up, put a valve in, finish it off. This is the fun part.